What's going on, guys? Vinicius514 here. In today's video, we're going to be making a rally tune. This is actually like the 5th time I've made a video. The first time it was a little too long and I was over-explaining certain things. The second time, I accidentally muted my mic at the end and didn't notice. And I did my whole outro and everything before noticing. And I was like... But... we're going to go ahead and... That's interesting. I've apparently made no progress, but I have the XKRS. Oh, I have no progress around the board. Why? Okay.
Welcome back, Jake.
So the first thing you want to do when finding a rally car is you want to think about off-road vehicles and how they have a good amount of clearance. And I want something underpowered so that I can be sure to explain things without going 170 miles an hour on a road where I can't go 175 miles an hour. We're looking for here... You know what? Let's do a charger. I think that would be interesting. Oops. I guess we'll work this way. Ooh. No, let's do this BMW. Okay, so... instead of working top left to bottom right, we're going to work bottom right to top left due to, if you were to, let's just say, for example, you went to the engine, you slapped on some upgrades, and then we come over here and we decide to do an engine swap, we have to come back and this upgrade isn't done. So it's inefficient to work in that direction. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our drivetrain and switch it to all-wheel drive. Given the low power of the vehicle, actually, we'll keep it rear-wheel drive. Since we're going to be making a lower-powered build, it's going to be better that way. It's going to save you some PI in the long run. The reason you would want all-wheel drive in general is because anything above, like, 200 horsepower will start to step out a bit and might be a little uncontrollable for some. We're going to throw this on, you don't actually need any aero, but due to its not really like a big influence, we'll go ahead and do it. And then this also doesn't have that much of a big influence, so I'll go ahead and switch it. And then the front doesn't actually have a bumper, so we'll do the bumper delete. And that will reduce weight, which can only help. We'll improve our engine spacers, because this doesn't do much in the way of PI, and it looks better. We'll go ahead and slap on the lightest rims we can, because reducing weight makes you faster everywhere. Adding power only makes you faster on the straights. We're going to make our rear tires as fat as possible, and then my minimum, my bottom line, is at least, if you see the numbers here, it says 205mm front tires. I want them to at least exceed 200mm. Less than 200, I don't like. Tire compounds. Now, it's going to give you best results on and off-road to give rally tires, but if you know you're going to be making a car just for off-roading, just for dirt, just for rallying off-road, you're going to want to do off-road race tires. This also reduces PI, adds a little bit of weight, I believe, but it's going to be better in the long run. It's going to give you a lot of grip. Now we're going to go over to the drivetrain. Upgrading your clutch improves shifting times and also should allow you to have a... it should be lighter. We'll check. Toggle. Yeah, it's lighter. That's 15 pounds. Driveline reduces weight, but it also increases throttle response. We put on a race transmission. This doesn't actually affect weight, but more gears will. The reason that I did the race transmission was so that we can tune it, and it also does improve your shift times if you are on manual or automatic. Since we know we are specifically going to be off-road with it, it's not a bad idea to do off-road, but I'm going to choose a rally diff. Increasing brakes and helps them be more efficient and also reduces weight. This is 30 pounds off. There's no such thing as off-road suspension or spring and dampeners, so you're going to use rally spring and dampers. You're going to put on anti-roll bars. They reduce weight a little bit, but they don't cost much PI. I'm going to add a roll cage for added stability, and the increased weight only helps the stability side of things. We're going to go ahead and max out our weight reduction because, again, The less weight you have, the faster you are everywhere. I'm going to improve the flywheel because this reduces weight, increases how fast we can climb up the RPM. And then we're going to slide in the oil and intercooler because I believe any of the race parts reduce weight, but also improve power. These in particular help the turbo. So we're going to max out our turbos, and then we're going to max out our cams because these have the most instrumental effects on the vehicle. The next thing we're going to do is play by ear. Sounds the most rally-like. Okay. And then we're going to round this out at A class. Wow, perfect. So this now weighs 300 pounds less and has honestly way too much horsepower for rear-wheel drive, but I can contain it. So once we get out of here, we're going to go to my famous off-road area, which is just the hill, the mountain. Over here, we're going to work our way up and then back down, and I'm also just going to slide over and do some quick tuning options. I mean, not tuning. I'm going to do this car mastery real quick. Just before I happen to forget. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and get started. Wait. Okay. Where do I need to go to get up the mountain? It's dead ahead of me. Yeah, so we're about to find out if I need to make this all-wheel drive or not. So far it seems good. It's important to choose a vehicle with good suspension travel clearance, like I was saying earlier, because while we're hitting these bumps and dips and over crests and, just jumps and stuff, it's important that you do not bottom out on your general travel. You're going to bottom out on jumps, so there's no fixing that. As long as we aren't bottoming out here. Okay, this rear-wheel drive is definitely a little bit hard to hold on to. But as you can see, our wheels are moving up and down, but we aren't getting screen shakes, we aren't hearing the sounds of our suspension compressing heavily, and that means we aren't bottoming out. What we're going to be looking for as well is that we aren't redlining throughout this. First of all, for race efficiency, and second of all, that means we have to tune our gears. Oh, this is a little bit uncontrollable. Other things that we're looking for is we don't want too much over or understeer. Most of that can be corrected with just a better driving line. Some of it can be tuned out if it's really bad. But so far the only oversteer I have is when the rear end kicks out too much. And then understeer hasn't been a problem because it's really easy to initiate a slide in rear-wheel drive. Trying to see what I can milk out of this drift zone, but I'm not doing a good job. could have been my personal best. I guess I wasn't doing as bad as I thought. That was my bad. I tried to initiate a slide going over the hill. Just not a good plan. Yeah, that was pretty clean towards the end there. Let's go ahead and fix, let's do some tuning and then go on our way back down. So, real quick, 'cause I just happened to get a wheels. Real quick. Alright, so, cars, tune car. First thing you want to do is make sure that your tire pressure is lower. This allows more squat in the tires, which will give you more of a contact patch for traction. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to gearing, and we're going to tune these in increments of 5. And since the lines are exceeding the graph, we're going to tune it towards acceleration, because that means that our gears are tuned for a higher top speed than we can actually achieve. And then once we've made this all into an increment of 5 towards acceleration, you can mostly just tune the final drive. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it 10 ahead of where it was, so that we have a little bit of leeway at the end of the graph, because once we change the aerodynamics of the vehicle, that graph is going to change. We're going to use the last little bit of caster here, because caster is pretty much how much wobble your tires have, and when you're entering a turn, the more wobble you have could be better. We're going to drop our ride height by 1 inch in the front, and we're going to max out our downforce for cornering, because we're not going to be really getting top speeds or anything here. The next thing I like to do is the brakes. Braking force at the top, the balance. If you tune it 5 towards the front, it's actually giving you more of a rear bias. And braking pressure, if you tune it to the right, I believe you're getting a higher pressure. So what this does is it makes it so that the front brakes won't lock up as much. No, the rear brakes won't lock up as much, I think. The bigger focus on the front brakes means that when you enter a corner, you can step on the brakes without locking your tires up and breaking traction. Because if you have the rear tires lock up more, then you're going to have the rear end kick out a lot more. This form of braking will give you more understeer, but that's just kind of a personal preference to the way that I like to drive. Now, we apply the setup, and then we return back to the gearing section, because you can see now that the graph has changed. Our top speed is not 193, it is 188, and because I tuned ahead of time, we're actually still within the graph. Now, let's go ahead and head back down. on, just give me power back. Thank you. Oh man. Yeah, these gears aren't tuned for drifting. My third gear and fourth gear are kind of like the perfect middle ground. So I'm redlining on third, and I need the bottom of fourth, but it doesn't give me enough power. There we go. We broke my record. And my brother's. Outside of the drift zone, this is a much smoother experience. And all we really did was mess with the brakes. I mean, well, the brakes did help in the beginning, but the gearing and the aerodynamics, yeah, we did put more downforce in the rear. I'm surprisingly proud of this vehicle. When it started off, I thought I was going to bomb the entire video.
You've arrived at your destination.
Yeah, so that gave us our front side understeer that we didn't want. Let's beat that speed zone record too. This thing's pretty gnarly. So there you go. If you guys learned anything or you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you didn't learn anything, didn't enjoy the video, etc., please leave a dislike. Comment down below whether you liked or disliked the video, and any other questions, comments, feedbacks, concerns, etc. You can check the description for my friends and family's YouTube channels, Twitch streams, social medias, and etc. As well, if you want, you can check out the rest of my channel. I have other Forza videos, Back 4 Blood, Rainbow Six Extraction, Apex Legends, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty Zombies, the campaign, some of the multiplayer occasionally. I do funny moments, montages, guides, personal videos, vlogs, etc. Also real life car mechanics videos and guides and stuff. So there's a lot of variety on this channel, because I pretty much just upload what I feel like. Coming next year, I'm going to have a consistent full schedule, where I focus on YouTubing and streaming, but right now my school comes first. Once I'm out of school, I'm going to work more on YouTube and pursue an actual career. But at the very least, I want you guys to have a good day.